Hello and welcome to video lecture series in sociology. Today we are going to discuss chapter 2 titled as Cultural Changes from your textbook Social Change and Development in India. This chapter discusses the cultural changes brought about as a result of British rule in Indian society. The chapter is divided into two main sections. First is social reform movement and the second is processes of cultural change. In the first section, we will discuss the nature of changes that social reform movement brought about during the late 19th and early 20th century in India. In the process of social change, we will discuss specific processes that have altered the cultural fabric of Indian society. These processes are a consequence of the structural changes brought about by the British. Some of these processes which we are going to discuss in this chapter are modernization, Sanskritization, westernization and secularization along with the process of globalization. As you know, in the previous chapter, we discussed about structural changes in terms of processes of urbanization and industrialization. Both the processes of urbanization and industrialization influenced the structure of Indian society and altered its cultural fabric. This chapter explores how did it happen. What factors influenced social reform movement and initiated other processes of social change? To begin our discussion on cultural changes, let us start by defining what do we mean by culture. Culture refers to shared aspects of human society including knowledge, language, belief, art, morals, law, practices, rituals, food habits, dressing styles, symbols and customs of any particular group, society or nation. Any change in the established social patterns or norms of behavior is called as cultural change. Culture has two important aspects or dimensions. These are material and non-material. The material is the tangible aspect of culture and it is manifest in the form of artifacts, clothes, food, architecture, etc. Non-material includes intangible aspects of culture existing as values, norms, beliefs and practices that are passed on to successive generations and learned through process of socialization. India was a traditional society. Although India had rich cultural heritage and was repository of knowledge, yet many social evils had plagued Indian society such as caste-based discrimination, dowry, child marriage, sati, etc. There had been attempts in the history to fight these evils, but these attempts remained isolated and discreet. It was the social reform movement in the 19th and early 20th century that played a decisive role in challenging and uprooting some of these evils. It will be interesting to know about some of the earlier reform movements before discussing social reform movements of 19th and early 20th century. Let us look at the reform movement started by the Sufis. Sufis believed in service to humanity was equivalent to service to God. Sufism stressed upon the elements of love and devotion as effective means of realization of God. The ideas emphasized by Sufis are meditation, good actions, repentance for sin, performance of prayer, pilgrimages, fasting, charity, suppression of passions by ascetic practices. In Sufism, self-discipline was considered as an essential condition to come close to God. Rejecting the belief in observation of blind rituals and external conduct, the Sufis laid stress on inner purity and considered devotion as the only means to attain salvation. Sufism also inculcated a spirit of tolerance and compassion among its followers. Another important movement in history is called as Bhakti movement. Bhakti movement started in South India around 7th century and gradually spread to North India by 13th century. Bhakti movement was based on the idea of love, devotion and absolute surrender before God. Important contributions of Bhakti movement are simplification of worship and emancipation of people from traditional caste rules. The Bhakti movement gave people a simple religion without complex rituals. People were required to show only sincere devotion to God. Bhakti movement led to development of new ideas of life of charity and service to fellow people. It inspired people from all walks of life, irrespective of caste, religion and community. Some of the important figures of Bhakti movement are Ramananda, Ravidas, Srimanta, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Vallabhacharya, Surdas, Mirabai, Kabir, Tulsidas, Guru Nanak, Tukaram, and Namdev. These saints and preachers spoke and wrote in regional languages. Thus, the Bhakti movement also provided an impetus to the development of regional languages such as Marathi, Bengali, and Kannada. Through local languages, these saints made a direct appeal to the masses. Stressing on equality among all, the Bhakti saints condemned the caste system. Bhakti movement also stressed on giving equal importance to women in society. As a result, there was a slight change in the status of women during this time. Although these movements were effective in spreading awareness among masses to some extent, yet it was the social reform movement in early 19th and 20th century that played a decisive role in challenging and uprooting some of these social evils. One may ask that, what was distinct in this movement as compared to the reform movements of the past? Why was this movement more effective? There are three important factors that help us to understand it. These are modes of communication, forms of organization, nature of ideas. Let us discuss these points one by one. About emergence of modern communication. In this era, new technology speeded up various forms of communication. Printing press, telegraph, phone, movement of people and goods through railways helped quick movement of new ideas. With migration and mixing of cultures, people were exposed to modern ideas and they started questioning the tradition. Talking about forms of organization, modern social organizations like Brahmo Samaj in Bengal, Arya Samaj in Punjab were set up. The All India Muslim Ladies Conference, called as Anjuman-e-Khawatan-e-Islam, was founded in 1914. These organizations were effective because they were formal in their functioning. Indian reformers debated about social issues in these forums, in public meetings and media like newspaper and magazines. Translation of writings of social reformers in different Indian languages was also done. For example, Vishnu Shastri published a Marathi translation of Ishwar Chand Vidyasagar's book in Indu Prakash in 1868. Talking about nature of ideas, during this time, new or modern ideas emerged. These ideas emphasized upon liberalism and freedom of individuals. They established value of education. These ideas started challenging inequality in society. An important part was the idea of female education was also debated intensely. The reformers attempted to redefine and restructure traditional roles of women such as wife, homemaker, daughter, and they advocated for widow remarriage. It was seen as crucial for a nation to become modern, but also to retain its ancient heritage by having a self-conscious pride in Indian culture and tradition. It would be interesting to know about the intent and content of social reform movement and social reformers. Let us look at some of the great reformers of 19th and 20th century reform movement. One is Pandita Ramabai. Pandita Ramabai was a social reformer and activist in India. She was born in a Hindu Brahmin family. She started Arya Mahila Samaj and later on converted to Christianity and served widows and helpless women. Another important social reformer is Ishwar Chand Vidyasagar. Ishwar Chand Vidyasagar is known as pioneer of Indian Renaissance. Vidyasagar vigorously promoted the idea that regardless of caste, both men and women should receive good education. He found education as a means of liberation from inequalities, injustices and prejudices in society. He advocated education for all. If you read his works reveal a strong emphasis on enlightened and secular ideas, with little mention of God and religious facts. Ishwar Chand Vidyasagar sought to transform Hindu society from within. He took the initiative in proposing and advocating the Widow Remarriage Act 15 of 1856 in India. Yet another important figure is Swami Dayanand Saraswati. Swami Dayanand Saraswati is well known as the founder of Arya Samaj, a Hindu reform movement. Denouncing the idol and ritualistic worship prevalent in Hinduism, Swami Saraswati worked towards reviving Vedic ideologies. He was the first to give the call for Swarajya, India for Indians, in 1876, which was later taken up by Lokmanya Tilak. Jyotiba Phule. Jyotiba Phule is regarded as one of the most important figures of social reform movement in Maharashtra. He is also called as the father of Indian social revolution. Jyotiba Phule and his wife Savitribai Phule were pioneers of women's education in India. Phule is well known for his efforts to educate women and lower caste people along with general people. Jyotiba Phule formed the Satya Shodhak Samaj, which means Society of Seekers of Truth, with the main objective of liberating the Bahujans, Shudras and Ati Shudras and protecting them from exploitation and atrocities. His influence is apparent in the fields like education, agriculture, caste system, women's emancipation, widow upliftment, removal of untouchability, fight to attain equal rights for peasants and lower caste people. One of the important social figures is Raja Ram Mohan Roy. Raja Ram Mohan Roy preached about the unity of God, made early translations of Vedic scriptures into English, founded the Brahmo Samaj and campaigned against Sati. Raja Ram Mohan Roy sought to integrate Western culture with Indian tradition. He established schools to modernize system of education in India. Roy attacked the practice of Sati on the basis of appeals to humanitarian and natural rights doctrines. He demanded property rights for women. In 1828, he set up Brahmo Samaj, which was a movement of reformist Bengalis formed to fight social evils. Yet another important figure is Syed Ahmad Khan, also known as Sir Syed. Sir Syed was a social reformer and a modernist. He pioneered modern education for Muslim community in India by founding the Mohammedan Anglo-Oriental College, which later developed into the Aligarh Muslim University. His efforts led to the rise of a new generation of Muslim leaders and entrepreneurs. Criticizing rigidity and orthodox outlook of religions, Sir Syed Ahmad promoted Western-type rational and scientific education by establishing modern schools and institutions in India. Other important social reformers are Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa, Swami Vivekananda, Sahu Chhatrapati and B.R. Ambedkar. In sum, the broad theme of this social reform movement was to establish modern and liberal education in India. It attempted to end caste-based inequality and discrimination. It also worked for women's upliftment by allowing widow remarriage and stop child marriage. They also worked towards annihilating sati and dowry. The social reformers strongly argued that for a society to progress, women have to be educated. The issue of female education was discussed by advocates of both modern and traditional ideas. Some of them believed that in pre-modern India, women were educated. Others contested this on the grounds that it was limited to only privileged few castes and classes. 19th century reform movement initiated a spirit of questioning, challenging and reinterpretation of tradition. Reformers actively debated about the meaning and worth of tradition and modernity. This period was a period of intellectual and social growth through modern education. The content of new and modern education was to introduce modern and liberal ideas. These ideas were drawn from the writings of European Renaissance, Reformation and Enlightenment. Modern ideas that guided these movements were secular and liberal in their intent, nature and content. These ideas were the core ideas established by modernity. To conclude, let us summarize what we discussed today. We began our discussion by defining what is culture and what is meant by cultural change. We discussed nature of social reform movements in earlier times and discussed about Bhakti and Sufi movements and their core ideals. Subsequently, we discussed social reform movement in late 19th and early 20th century and discussed about what is its nature and why was it more effective as compared to social reform movements in past. We discussed about the contribution of some of the prominent social reformers. In the next lecture, we will start discussing about specific processes of social and cultural changes. Thank you.